Welcome to Linguaverse. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome to French on the Go, the podcast for beginners who want to learn real, practical French. I'm your host, Avery.
And I'm Melody. Bonjour à tous. Hello, everyone.
In our last episode, we learned how to order food and drinks in a typical French cafe.
Right. We practiced saying things like Bonjour, je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît, which means, hello, I would like a coffee, please.
Exactly. And we learned how to ask for the bill. L'addition, s'il vous plaît.
That was a fun one, but today we're stepping out of the cafe and onto the streets of France.
That's right. Episode 3 is all about a skill that is absolutely essential for any traveler, asking and understanding directions. This is super important if you ever find yourself a little lost in a beautiful, winding European city. I remember my first time in Lyon. I got completely turned around trying to find the specific restaurant, and I wish I'd had these phrases then. It would have saved me a lot of walking in circles.
Which can definitely happen. So let's imagine we've just finished our delicious café crème. We step outside, look around, and realize we're not quite sure where the museum is.
It's a common situation. The first step is to find someone to ask, but what's the polite way to get someone's attention?
In French, the most common and polite phrase is excusez-moi. It works in almost any situation.
Excusez-moi. Let's hear it again, slowly.
Excusez-moi. It means excuse me.
You might also hear pardon, which is very similar. Both are perfect for stopping someone politely.
Let's have our listeners try it. Repeat after me. Excusez-moi.
And now, pardon.
Let's repeat that one more time for our listeners.
Pardon.
Let's repeat that one more time for our listeners.
Pardon.
Let's repeat that one more time for our listeners.
Pardon.
Let's repeat that one more time for our listeners.
Pardon.
Great. Now that you have their attention, you need to ask your question. A very complete and formal way to ask is Pourriez-vous m'aider, s'il vous plaît?
That means, could you help me, please? It's very polite. But for a beginner, there are simpler ways. Let's listen to a short dialogue to see how it works. I'll be the lost tourist, and Melody will be the helpful local.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Excusez-moi, pour aller à la cathédrale, s'il vous plaît.
Bonjour. Oui, bien sûr. Vous continuez tout droit et puis vous tournez à gauche. C'est juste à côté de la boulangerie.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Bonne journée.
Okay, let's break that down. It was short, but full of useful phrases.
It really was. So you started with Excusez-moi pour aller à la cathédrale, s'il vous plaît.
Right, which means, excuse me, to go to the cathedral, please. This is a fantastic shortcut. Instead of a full sentence, you just say pour aller à, which means to go to, and then your destination.
Exactly. It's simple and everyone will understand you. Let's try it with another place. How about the train station? La gare.
Pour aller à la gare, s'il vous plaît.
Perfect. Now let's look at the response you got. I said, Bonjour, oui, bien sûr. That's hello, yes, of course. Bien sûr is a great phrase to know.
Of course.
Then I gave the directions. Vous continuez tout droit et puis vous tournez à gauche.
Let's take that piece by piece. Vous continuez tout droit.
That means you continue straight ahead. The key phrase here is tout droit.
Tout droit. Let's have everyone repeat that. Tout droit.
And the second part was et puis vous tournez à gauche.
And then you turn left. À gauche means to the left.
Let's practice that one. À gauche.
And if you wanted to say to the right,
That would be à droite. They sound similar, so listen closely. Gauche, droite.
left and right. Got it. What was the final part of your direction?
I said, c'est juste à côté de la boulangerie.
It's right next to the bakery. So, à côté de means next to.
Exactement. And la boulangerie, the bakery, a very important landmark in any French town.
Okay, this is great. Let's build on this vocabulary. The most basic way to ask where something is with the phrase où est, which means where is.
Right, it's pronounced like the letter O, où. So if you want to find the metro, you can ask, où est le métro?
Let's have our listeners try. Repeat after me. Où est le métro?
Or, where are the toilets? That's always a useful one. Où sont les toilettes?
Very useful. Notice it's sont instead of est because toilette is plural.
Let's review the key direction words you might hear in response. We have continuer tout droit.
Continue straight ahead.
Tournez à gauche.
Turn left.
Tournez à droite.
Turn right,
Now let's add two more useful ones. C'est près d'ici.
which means it's near here. Près means near.
And the opposite, c'est loin d'ici.
It's far from here. Loin means far.
Okay, let's do a quick quiz. I'll say the English, and you, Avery, along with our listeners, can say the French.
I'm ready.
To the left.
À gauche.
Straight ahead.
Tout droit.
It's far.
C'est loin.
To the right.
À droite.
It's near.
C'est près.
Now for a full sentence. How would you say, I am looking for the pharmacy?
Je cherche la pharmacie.
Fantastic. With just those few phrases, you can understand a lot of basic directions.
Excellent. And one more, a bit tricky. Where is the closest bakery? I think we're ready for another real-world example. Let's try one more dialogue. This time, I'm looking for a pharmacy. Melody, you're the local again. Now, are you ready for a slightly more advanced conversation? This is for our A2 listeners, but A1 listeners, see how much you can pick up.
Avec plaisir, I'm ready.
Où est la boulangerie la plus proche? Excusez-moi, madame. Je cherche une pharmacie.
Okay, let's do it. This time I'll be the tourist and you can be the helpful Parisian. Bonjour, monsieur.
Oui, il y en a une tout près. Prenez la deuxième rue à droite, traversez la place, et la pharmacie est juste en face de la banque.
D'accord. La deuxième à droite, et puis c'est sur la gauche?
Definitely. So you started with Je cherche une pharmacie. We just practiced. I'm looking for a pharmacy.
Est-ce que c'est loin d'ici?
Exactement. Non, pas du tout. C'est à 5 minutes à pied. Simple and direct. And your directions were a little more complex this time.
Parfait. Merci beaucoup pour votre aide. Yes, I said prenez la deuxième rue à droite. This means take the second street on the right. We learned première for first, and now we have deuxième for second.
Je vous en prie. Deuxième. Got it. Then you said traverser la place.
Okay, a few new things in there. I started with pardon, monsieur, je cherche. That means, pardon me, sir, I'm looking for. Traverser la place means cross the square. Traverser is the command form of the verb to cross, and la place is a square or plaza, a very common feature in European cities.
Je cherche means I am looking for, or I am seeking. It's another great way to start your question. And you asked for la station de métro la plus proche. And the final part was la pharmacie est juste en face de la banque.
Right. La plus proche means the closest. So I'm looking for the closest metro station. Right. The pharmacy is right opposite the bank. En face de means opposite of or facing. It's another useful preposition of place, like à côté de, which we learned earlier.
Very useful. And in my response, I said, vous prenez la première rue à droite. So we have next to and opposite of. Excellent. I repeated the key parts of the directions back to you to make sure I understood, which is a great strategy for learners.
You take the first street on the right. Première means first. You might also hear deuxième for second or troisième for third. It really is. It confirms you've got it right and gives the person a chance to correct you if needed.
Exactly. I also added pendant environ 5 minutes, which means for about 5 minutes. This gives a sense of distance.
That was another great example. And Melody, you brought up a really important point at the beginning of your response in that dialogue. And at the end, I thanked you by saying merci beaucoup pour votre aide, which means thank you very much for your help.
Yes, the bonjour, monsieur. It might seem small, but it's a huge part of French culture. You should always start any interaction with a stranger with bonjour or bonsoir if it's in the evening.
And I replied, je vous en prie. This is a slightly more formal way to say you're welcome. You can use it instead of de rien. That was a fantastic lesson, Avery. We covered everything from getting someone's attention to understanding multi-step directions.
We sure did. Let's do a final super fast recap of the most essential phrases from today.
Let's do it. First, to ask where something is.
Excusez-moi, où est-ce?
To understand the answer, listen for these key words.
Tout droit.
Straight ahead.
À gauche.
To the left.
À droite.
To the right. And finally, the essential thank you and you're welcome.
Merci beaucoup.
And de rien.
Perfect. Practice these phrases and you'll feel much more confident exploring a French-speaking city.
That's right. And that's all the time we have for episode 3 of French on the Go.
Join us next time for episode 4, where we're going shopping. We'll learn how to ask for prices, talk about sizes, and buy souvenirs.
Thanks for joining us on French Conversations for Beginners. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more episodes. See you next time.